Welcome to the second lecture of this lecture series titled Introduction to Philosophy, which is meant for India's UGC NTA NET exam. This is a lecture in Chapter 1 on Vedantic and Upanishadic World Views under the first unit titled Classical Indian Epistemology and Metaphysics. In this lecture, we provide a summary about the Vedas. Vedas can be regarded as the origin of Indian philosophy. It is marked by the absence of reliable chronological data to exactly pinpoint the date of their composition. Vedas have been regarded as apaurisheya, that is, not of human origin or authorless. Veda literally means knowledge. There are about 4 parts of each Veda. The first part is called as Samhita, which is a collection of mantras or hymns. The second part is the Brahmanas, which are commentaries on rituals and sacrifices mentioned in those hymns. The third is the Aranyaka and contains discussions and interpretations of ceremonies from ritualistic and symbolic perspectives. And the fourth is the Upanishads, which contain philosophy and spiritual knowledge. Samhita are regarded as karma kand, that is, karma is action or related or ritual related section, and Upanishads are identified as jnana kanda, that is, knowledge or spirituality related section. The Aranyakas and Brahmanas are variously classified, sometimes as ceremonial karma kanda, other times or parts of them as jnana kanda. Let us first look at the Samhita. The prefix sam in Sanskrit means together, and hita means it is the past participle of the verbal root dha, that is, to put. Thus, Samhita means put together, joined, union. It is a collection. Samhita is a methodological, rule-based combination of text or verses. There are 4 Samhitas: Rig, Yajur, Sama and Atharva. Samhitas are chanted during ceremonies and rituals, and parts of it remain the oldest living part of the Hindu tradition. To give an example, part of the Gayatri mantra Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat is found in part of the Rig Veda in the 3rd Mantala, Sukta 62, verse 10. Samhitas and associated Vedic texts were far larger than what is now available. Due to the oral transmission between generations, they have been lost. The next topic is about priests in Vedic texts. The Rig Veda contemplates 4 main priests: Hotri, Advaryu, Udgatri and Brahman. Hotri is the reciter of mantras. Advaryu is in charge of the physical details of the sacrifice. Udgatri is the chanter of hymns set to melodies from the Samaveda. The Brahman is the reciter of hymns from the Atharva Veda. He is largely silent and observes the procedures. He uses Atharva Veda mantras to heal when mistakes have been made during the performance of the ceremonies. And the Yajamana is one who performs a sacrifice or in whose name the sacrificial ceremonies are carried out. He basically funds the sacrifice. The next part of the Vedas is the Brahmanas. These are prose explanation of sacred knowledge or doctrine or Brahminical explanation. Brahmanas are the Vedic Shruti works attached to the Samhitas, that is, the hymns and mantras of the Rig, Sama, Yajur and Atharva Vedas. Brahmanas are embedded within each Veda, which explain and instruct on the performance of Vedic rituals. The Brahmanas explain the symbolism and meaning of the Samhitas and also expounds scientific knowledge of the Vedic period, such as observational astronomy, altar construction, geometry, etc. Each Veda has one or more own Brahmanas. For instance, the Rig Veda has Aitreya and Kausitaki Brahmanas. The Samaveda has Sadhyamsa Mantra and Daivata Brahmanas. Yajur Veda has Shatapatha and Taitreya Brahmanas, and Atharva Veda has Gopatha Brahmana. The better way to easily memorize this is to start from the bottom. Atharva Veda has Gopatha Brahmana, Yajur Veda has Satapatha and Taitreya Brahmana, and so on. Next we come to Aranyakas. Aranyakas literally mean produced, born, related to a forest, or rather belonging to the wilderness. Aranyakas deal with meaning of ritual sacrifice. They are primarily concerned with the proper performance of ritual. Aranyakas mark the philosophical interpretation of rituals and prescribes the mode of meditation for those living in Aranyas, that is the forests. The concluding portion of Aranyakas are Upanishads. Now we will look at each of the 4 Vedas. Note that this course is introductory in nature and we do not delve in detail about the Vedas. The first of the 4 Vedas is the Rig Veda. The Rig Veda Samhita or the Rig Veda hymns is the oldest Indian text. It has 1028 hymns with 10,600 verses organized into 10 books known as mandalas, literally circles. The Rig Veda is dedicated to the Rig Vedic deities. Rig Veda is arranged in collections, each dealing with a particular deity. Agni comes first, Indra comes second, and so on. Rig Veda is attributed and dedicated to a rishi or sage and his family of students. The 9th mandala is entirely dedicated to Soma and the Soma ritual. The 1st and 10th mandalas are the youngest. They are also the longest books of 191 suktas each, accounting for 37% of the text. Rig Veda was memorized and verbally transmitted with near unparalleled fidelity across generations for many centuries. The next Veda is the Yajur Veda. Yajus means worship. It is a compilation of ritual offering formulas recited by a priest while an individual performed ritual actions such as those before the Yajna fire. There are 2 Yajur Vedas. The first is the black or dark, also Krishna Yajur Veda. Black implies the unarranged, unclear and motley collection of verses, whereas white or bright, that is Shukla Yajur Veda, that is the white implies the well arranged and clear verses. Yajur Veda is regarded as that which separates Samhitas from the Brahmanas. The third Veda is the Sama Veda. Saman means song and Veda is knowledge. Sama Veda is a Veda of chants. It has 1875 verses. All but 75 verses have been taken from the Rig Veda. There are far few verses than in Rig Veda, but Sama Veda is textually larger because it lists all the chant and rituals related score modifications of the verses. The last Veda is the Atharva Veda. It is the knowledge storehouse of the Atharvanas, the procedures for everyday life. Atharva Veda has 730 hymns with about 6,000 stanzas divided into 20 books. 1/6 of the Atharva Veda texts adapt verses from the Rig Veda. Atharva Veda is a historical collection of beliefs and rituals addressing practical issues of the daily life of the Vedic society. It is arranged neither by subject nor by authors, as it is in the case of other Vedas, but by the length of the hymns. Roughly, books 1 to 7 deal with magical poems for all sorts of healing and sorcery. Books 8 to 12 deal with speculations of a variety of topics. Books 13 to 18 deals with life cycle rites of passage rituals. Atharva Veda includes mantras and verses for treating a variety of ailments. See for example verse 4.15, 5.21, etc. So that's all in this lecture. See you in the next lecture on Upanishads.